This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Well, it appears the move to regularize web shops in the country is leading to an expansion in the financial services sector.
Now, the Minister of Financial Services, Ryan Pinder, recently commented on the growth they're now seeing as a result of the demand for a special service that these newly regulated institutions will be mandated to have. Has details.
A recent meeting with the Attorney General and the Financial Action Task Force overseas did not produce a negative response to the regulation of web shops, as some speculated. In fact, according to Financial Services Minister Ryan Pinder, the international body is quite familiar with gaming legislation and the Bahamas' ability to regulate this industry, since we've had experience for many years operating casinos.
In financial services, we have some of the best compliance officers in the world. This is actually going to create new opportunities in compliance for a lot of Bahamian professionals, and that the framework, you just have to extend it beyond your financial services industry that we're so good at into another industry. So I have the full confidence, one, in our ability to legislate it, and secondly, our ability to have our people, Bahamian professionals, undertake the compliance obligations and responsibilities that will be compliant with all international best practices.
And with the local financial services industry expanding, more jobs with additional opportunities in the compliance sector are being created.
We've seen in the compliance arena a lot of the compliance professionals now going out and open up consultancies and the like. We've seen the Securities Commission, for instance, allow in the case of small entities that you can outsource a compliance function to these professionals. And these professionals are all Bahamian entrepreneurs. And now this is just another component. So I think it is actually going to be a stimulus for economic development in areas that we do not even really envision on a day-to-day basis. And we certainly have the capacity and the ability to do it.
The minister and the new executive team of the Bahamas Association of Compliance Officers have discussed educational opportunities for members who up until now only regulated traditional financial institutions.
The first endeavor is going to be later this month in Freeport for their conference in Northern Bahamas, of which we will talk about the compliance obligations for gaming. I've already reached out to some of the international institutions that provide the curriculum and compliance to see if we can get a gaming-focused compliance educational course. The Bahamas Institute of Financial Services has agreed to participate and partner and host that course. So we think that there's a lot of opportunity for expanded business, expanded entrepreneurs, and Bahamian professionals who are at the top of their industry worldwide to now have new opportunities for growth.
Web shops hoping to meet the requirements for regularization have already begun hiring compliance officers to ensure that they meet the required standards. Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.
It was revealed earlier this month that the $3.5 billion Baha Mar resort will delay its highly anticipated December opening to spring of 2015.
Speaking with ZNS News after a circular to employees was leaked, Baha Mar Senior Vice President of External Affairs Robert Sands said the resort would take a phased-in approach by inviting special guests such as media and travel partners when the resort begins taking select guests in December.
Now, Sands says that's still the plan and that while the delay has been a disappointment to Bahamians who were anticipating an economic boom for the country, there's been no backlash.
I will only comment that we will start our previews in December of 2014, and then we will work towards our grand opening in late spring 2015. Our heads of agreement contemplated a staggered opening. So there's nothing adverse to that position. We're continuing to work with our brand partners, and as you see, the jewels are going on the crown at Baha Mar on a daily basis. And we are certainly excited about that day when we will all put to work the assets of all these beautiful people here at Baha Mar.
Well, it's the company at the heart of the controversy over a letter of intent allegedly signed by Minister of Works Parliamentary Secretary Renward Wells. Stellar Waste has been silent on the matter, but a top executive of the company talks to Janae Noel Ferguson about some misconceptions about the letter of intent and plans the company has moving forward.
J.P. Michelson, Chief Operating Officer of Stellar Waste 2 Energy Bahamas Company, confirmed to ZNS News that despite the cloud of controversy surrounding operations, they are forging ahead with their engineering studies to determine if waste to energy can be a viable option at the New Providence landfill. But what about that letter of intent signed by Parliamentary Secretary Renward Wells?
The biggest misconception in this entire thing is that people always say we have a contract to build a $650 million waste-to-energy plant in the Bahamas, which is not true. The only thing that is in the LOI is we were asked to do those studies, Pt.2 and 3, which is outstanding.
Michelson says one of the front-end engineering designs or FEED studies have already been completed, and the letter of intent spells out 2 more, which he says they will be carrying out. We asked if government approval was needed.
Need is some help from the Department of Environmental Health Services to have access to for example, a dump site at Harold Road. But we did FEED 1 already. We financed that in-house. And we have the results back. We've shared that with the Ministry of Works.
The chief operating officer stressed that no money from the government is needed to carry out their studies, and the proposed plan could be much less than reported. He says it's possible to produce 75% megawatt net output on the electricity grid every day.
We're going to do these studies with the intent to, yes, to build that waste-to-energy plant. Because what will it do? It will, first of all, lower the cost of electricity. It will bring relief to people's pockets. It will have 2,000 construction jobs when we build the plant and 500 permanent, and I don't like the word jobs, but permanent careers.
Now all of this comes as the government looks to select a company that will partner with BC for distribution. At last report, a number of companies have been shortlisted. Michelson says that while Stellar has in a bid, they were not successful, but they're not discouraged about their plan.
We did get a letter from KPMG saying, like, listen, you are not retained for this, but you have a submission into this on a renewable, i.e. the waste-to-energy side, which will be looked at a later stage.
Now, both Prime Minister Perry Christie and Deputy Prime Minister Philip Davis have said they're doing their own investigation into the signing of that letter of intent, but Michelson says they won't be deterred no matter the outcome in ensuring that alternative energy becomes a reality for the Bahamas. Janae Noel Ferguson, ZNS Network News.
There's been a lot of controversy surrounding Bahamas Carnival, expected to be launched next May. In an effort to clarify a lot of concerns from junkanooers, many of whom have misgivings about the idea, JCNP Chairman Silbert Ferguson says a town meeting is planned for tomorrow night, which will give officials from the Festival Commission the opportunity to address those concerns.
Junkanooers are a little upset because they felt like they have been left in the gate and nobody has given them the opportunity to speak. And so, being the chairman of the JCNP and the voice of Junkanoo, what I have decided to do with our committee is to put on a town meeting and allow our members to have the opportunity to speak publicly. This would be carried live on ZNS on Wednesday evening. And we are thankful to be able to bring it to the public. And we're inviting the public and all of the Junkanoo groups, for their members who have any burning issues, to please come out, whether it's about Junkanoo. We want to make sure that everybody is clear. And then about the carnival, they'll have an opportunity to ask those questions.
The town meeting is scheduled for tomorrow night at the Center for the Performing Arts. It's set for 7 p.m. The general public is invited to attend. Ferguson said it was expected that many junkanooers would be able to benefit financially from the carnival festivities, but many of them are feeling left out.
It's going to be an event that is supposed to have economic empowerment, to give our members an opportunity to earn extra money to take care of their families, and we give them the opportunity to say yes or no to it. Okay, the questions that the rank and file of Junkanoo have, the JCNP is not able to answer their questions. And so we have invited the BNFC, the commissioners from there, to come over and form a panel and answer the questions and, give a snippet of what is going to happen next May.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.